Hello, I'm Aimee Lou Wood, and today PopBuzz have asked me to paint a self-portrait. Get ready for this masterpiece. So this is a photo of me at Mighty Hoopla. So I've got a pink wig on and some lovely sequined eyes. And it's actually one of my favourite looks of all time, I think. I wish I could be dressed like that every day, but alas, I do not. It's not really making the pink that I desire, but anyway, I'm just gonna start. I love wigs. I have so many. I really like playing different characters in my bedroom. God, I sound so odd. Not in the bedroom, not in like a sexy way. In like, I love putting on a wig and just looking in the mirror and seeing like what it makes me feel like and then figuring out a character from that. That's what I used to do when I was younger all the time at home. I just used to make up characters constantly and had loads of imaginary friends as well. Yeah, I was unique. Still am. Do you know what? This Mighty Hoopla that I'm drawing, I was pretty happy this day. I lived in Chicago for a few months and I have quite a nostalgic view of that time. It was really amazing, but I think it's also because it was before sex ed came out and it was kind of like the last time that I was absolutely anonymous. And I think that I do have quite a nostalgic view of that time because anonymity is underrated, I'll just say that. Lots of it is great and lovely, but I've always been quite an anxious person and quite self-conscious, so sometimes I do find it quite overwhelming. And I think a lot of people kind of go like, but you're an actor, that's what you wanted, but most actors aren't famous. That's the thing that people don't really get, is actually most actors have a whole career and they won't be famous. Like, fame doesn't happen, and I never expected it to happen for me. I didn't think I was going to be in a massive TV show. I thought I was going to do plays and, you know, that's what most actors, are not famous, and I think people forget that. My mum was just always completely supportive. I think her main thing was that she wanted me to be independent. When I said I wanted to be an actor, she completely encouraged it and thought it was just the best idea. Actually, she isn't one of those X Factor mums that goes like, you've got an amazing voice, darling, get out there, and then they humiliate themselves. Like, she's very realistic about my talents. Like, she was like, you are not going to be a mathematician. That much is clear, but yes, if you want to be an actor, I think it's a great idea. I actually wanted to be a writer originally. I wrote loads of plays and stories when I was younger and I loved English. So I was just going to go to uni and do English, and then my English teachers, they told me that I was really good at writing but also very good at drama and that I could really do it, and they were kind of the first people. That was in about year 8. At school, so I kind of started to consider it then, but I was so shy that I didn't think it was possible to be an actor and be shy, but it is. But I'm not really anymore. It kind of helped me overcome my shyness, the acting. I love tarot cards and I love astrology and reading poems. Although I don't think that's that surprising, I think that's quite predictable of me. What would be surprising would be if I did like science experiments, you know, but I got into tarot. How did I get into tarot? Because, well, I've always kind of loved astrology and all of that, and then I saw a pack of tarot cards in this shop, and I was like, ooh, just buy them, but apparently you're not actually supposed to buy your own tarot cards, but I did. And then I started just doing readings for my friends, and it was so fun. People think it's like, we're gonna tell the future now, but it's actually, you learn about yourself through how you react to the cards that you dealt. So it's a lot less mystical than people think. It's more of a prompt to self-discovery, I would say. Oh, there were different brush sizes, for God's sake. I love that she is just so present. Like, when she's talking to someone, she is just there. Like, I find that quite hard. I'm such an overthinker, I'm very cerebral. Yeah, I get lost in my head sometimes, and I think she finds it very easy to, when she's talking to someone, that is what she's doing. She's just there. She's with them, she's fixed on them, and she's just very, very present. I would really like to have a bit more of that. I think that she is just really good at being in the here and now, a lot better than I am. I think that's why people think that she's not very clever, but obviously she has a very unique way of looking at the world. But I actually think she is very emotionally intelligent, and there are different kinds of intelligence. She might not be intellectual, but I don't think she's not clever, and I think it takes a lot of brightness to be able to be really present and really listen to people. I think that's a mark of intelligence, actually. In 10 years' time, I think that Aimee will be maybe starting her own baking business, a little kind of store, cupcake shop, and I think doing pretty well, you know. I hope that maybe she's actually still single, you know. I feel like she's got a lot, she needs to kind of have quite a long time being single, I think. And I kind of like, I don't want her to rush into any relationships. So I hope that she's kind of like putting herself first. And then in 20 years, all I can see for Aimee is just her becoming like more and more into herself. And I think she'll be kind of like an absolute boss in 20 years. Like I think she probably will be like running a baking empire and just kind of like super assertive but still so kind. But I also do think that she'd be a pretty good counsellor. Like I think that she'd be a really good therapist as well. Or like, you know, someone, a supportive, maybe she could mix the two, I'm not sure. And then I do imagine in 30 years that I do imagine her having children. I think she would be a brilliant mum. Maybe quite a lot as well, like quite a bizarre amount of children, like 10 or something, like the Von Trapps. It makes me really sad to think that I'm gonna say goodbye to Aimee. I was watching the Friends reunion the other week and I was sobbing. And I think I was sobbing because I loved Friends when I was younger, but also because it kind of, I saw a lot of us, like my cast in there, and it was just so emotional. I just feel like I've grown so much with her. And yeah, I don't want to leave it yet. I'm not ready to yet, definitely. But there will become a point where, you know, I'll be like 52 and I'll be like, maybe it's time to stop playing Aimee Gibbs now. I think failure for me is not learning from something. I think that you can make huge mistakes and kind of fail spectacularly as long as you kind of like take something from those mistakes and grow from them. And a lot of the time I feel like I've failed when I've kind of gone against myself and known something to be true and right, and then I've kind of been impressionable, or I've listened to someone else and I've kind of gone away from myself. I'll always kind of feel like I've failed then, but I can be such a people pleaser that I can kind of like go along with someone else's view and not my own. So I always feel like I failed then, but then I also think that also isn't really failure if I then go, I've learned a lot from that situation, I'm not going to do that again. And I think success is whenever, I always feel like I've succeeded whenever I've been courageous enough to like be my full self. The most successful people that I meet are the ones who are just being their absolute authentic full self. Oh my God, this is awful. I mean, you can see how awful it is. But Shooty always says face your front. And I think it's such good advice, because it's, don't be looking left and right thinking, what's she doing, what's he doing, what are they doing? You know, it's like, face your front. You're on your, completely, like, run your own race is the most, comparison is the thief of joy. As soon as we start comparing ourselves, we just feel miserable. That is just absolutely true. And also, don't try and be interesting, try and be interested, because if you stay curious and you stay interested in people and in the world, and you always kind of see everything as an opportunity to learn, and then I think you'll always be interesting if you do that. 5 seconds, oh my God, here we go. Okay, really quick, just gonna do some, oh Jesus, it's done that thing where it's gone all. I've made myself smile even though I wasn't smiling in the photo, because I thought I would never pose like that anymore. See, that's growth. I would never pose like that anymore. Well, I kind of would if I was in, yeah, I would actually. I've drawn exactly the same since I was like 4. It never changed, and it was always this kind of vibe. It's not evolved much, but maybe that's what's, you know, right. There's no right or wrong in art, is there?
Hey, love it.
It's me! Can't you tell? The teeth, come on. Unmistakable. If you would like to see more videos like this, check out PopBuzz's YouTube channel. Is that what it is?